Yo, what's good? I'm glad you made it. Yo, you got your pass on you? Alright, cool. Yeah. Don't worry about them, man. They with me. Alright, look. This is the first time we letting people get access like this, so don't make a fool of yourself, alright? We don't usually give access to people like this, but you know, we making an exception for you. So just play it cool, don't act too crazy, alright? Today we got some big wigs backstage. We got the co-founders, Demont and Trustin, and we're back there. It's gonna be me, and it's gonna be running out of lines. We back there talking to them about some of our favorite moments from season 1, some of the worst moments from season 1, and what we're most excited about coming back for season 2. And look, don't act crazy. Again, I can't stress this enough. There's no censorship. There's no holds bar on these conversations. These guys are being candid as fuck. So act like you've been here before and you might get invited back. All right, let's head to backstage.
Wait, did that happen last year? I feel like that was 2017. Like,
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the state of the world was completely different. I mean, even quarantine looked way different back when we first started this thing, man. I mean, we all look different. Like, you know, as I'm looking at our screens, like different hairstyles. You know, I actually have black hair.
I'm not gonna take my hat off, but
hey, don't be afraid. Live your truth. Live your truth.
I haven't seen my barber in about 3 weeks. Man.
Yeah. Hey, man. You know.
I know mine is crazy. Yeah. I actually set my hair on fire the other day.
No,
bro.
You got to tell that story, man. What's going on?
So listen. So I'm sitting here. For those that don't know, first of all, we ain't even introduce ourselves.
Man, we backstage, bro. Don't even trip, man.
I already know who you is, nigga.
You right. All right. Well, then fuck the niggas that don't know us then. Okay, so I'm in school. I'm trying to work on some lab work. I got a Bunsen burner going, but the flame is like damn near invisible. Like I can't see, like you can't really see it. So I lean over the table. To grab something, and I sit back in the chair, and I hear something like sizzling. I'm like, it's something crackling. So I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, y'all hear that? Like something is going, like something is frying up in here. So I'm looking around the damn table, and then there's this girl that's sitting across from me. She's looking at her laptop, but she looks up and she's like, oh my God, Demont, your hair is on fire. And I was like, oh, and I pat everything out. There's so much hair that fell out, like so many loose ends, bro. It looked like a barbershop, like all around.
This shit must have been greasy as fuck.
Bro, if you had to estimate, like, how big was that flame, like in inches?
So this is, I couldn't see it, but from what she told me, that it was like, this is what she said.
Yeah, so everyone who's listening, I don't know, like, what is that estimate? Like,
that's probably like, if I had to guess, maybe like a foot of just pure flame.
No way, bro. That's fire.
You almost
that's crazy. I didn't feel no heat or anything, but bro, so much hair came out. Even when I took it that night, like so much fell out.
Niggas want to be,
but I mean, luckily, we got it back right. We got back, you know, kind of evened it out a little bit.
I couldn't tell.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't know. You know what I mean? You look at somebody, you don't know they struggle. Let that just be a testimony. You know what I mean? A testimony. You'll never know the struggle if you're just looking.
Hey, bro.
You don't look like what you've been through.
That's the last time I'm back. Yo, bro. All right. I said niggas want to be Michael Jackson so bad, bro.
We shooting for greatness.
But yeah, so like, you know, I'm glad that you're still alive, bro. And like the fact that, you know, hey man, you know, I went toe to toe with Corona. Like I looked Corona in his eyes, you know what I'm saying? I came down with the fungus and, you know, I'm still here to tell the story. You know, you came through the fire and you're still able to tell the story.
Literally.
Tato, you know, like I know you was telling me like off wax, like about like how, you know, you got fired and then came back into a bag, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, like, bro, like, you know, and I'm sure, you know, there's people who are listening who, you know, have probably been through even more stuff than we have, you know? So, you know, it's great to still be here and to still tell the story, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, despite all that, you know, I'm really interested to know, like, what else have you guys been into? You know, like, you know, I guess I'll start. It's like, you know, we've taken off such a long hiatus. I don't know when was our last broadcast. I think that might have been in like August since we've been on. So it's been a strong maybe 6 months. And in that time, I know for myself, you know, I got accepted into a graduate nursing program, and
okay, speak on
moved to a whole new city. You know, I'm in Chicago now. Got a whole new Wi-Fi system, so you know,
okay,
I'm hooked
flex
up
a little
with
bit.
Xfinity.
Let them know. Let them know.
Hey
It's
man,
crispy.
you know, because there are quite a few broadcasts that I'm still frustrated looking back on, like, you know, how they were just terrible because of me, you know, because of AT&T, and now, you know, I'm glad to be, you know, new year, new Wi-Fi, and really, you know, have a whole new setup. So like, you know, that's what I've been up to. What have you guys been up to since, you know, our last broadcast?
I've been doing my work thing, still doing music on the side, working on music with some artists. Also, I got my MBA in August, so shout out to that. Shout out to God. I'm on the job hunt trying to get a job at that level.
Young
So
boy.
NBA young boy, that's right. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. But other than that, I mean, nothing really has changed much for me.
Man, I guess since Beatbuild has we took the hiatus, I just been I started back school, and just in dental school, I just been seeing patients. I was applying for an orthodontic residency, which I got accepted into in November. So I'll be going back to Georgia School of Orthodontics. I'll be moving back to Atlanta.
Sweet.
In September, you know, later on this year. So I've just been, you know, trying to get ready for that and really just trying to finish requirements and stuff. Trying to make music when I can, but school kind of picked back up. So it's a little bit, I've kind of hit a little rough patch creatively, but I do feel, I feel like when I do get some time, I feel like I have a lot of inspiration to draw from. I feel like just, you know, over the course of this year and stuff like that. So I'm excited for myself to see what you know what comes from all that. But yeah, that's about it.
Hey, running out of lines, you know, what you been up to, man?
Honestly, man, since we stopped Beatbuild.wav, I've just been focusing on like more personal brands. So, you know, I had the pop-up, you know, and I got the merch now coming out of lines. I'm rebranding, so I've been touching a little bit of graphic design. Just trying to sharpen up those skills. I created my new my new logo, and now I'm just trying to keep Choice, you know, radio going. Trying to collab with new artists and new entrepreneurs and bring them on just for, you know, a candid conversation how we have it here. And I mean, just to get a little deeper, just try to find a balance between like work and like leisure, because I'm wearing so many hats. I'm a part of so many different projects that sometimes I just get, you know, I get too overwhelmed and I got to take a step back from all that and reorganize and recharge. So I'm just trying to find a balance between everything right now. It's been a struggle, especially with everything that's going on outside. You know, I'm a nice guy, so I can't say no. So it's a lot of things that I'm a part of right now that I'm just like, yo, it's not even on brand. It's not even me. That shit corny. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm glad to be a part of Beatbuild.wav. Obviously, if anything besides Choice Radio, my personal brands running out of lines, this is one of the things that's been keeping me motivated.
And like you said, you know, prioritizing this because, you know, like we're all shareholders in this thing now. I mean, Beatbuild.wav is official. Like, we're a Black-owned business. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the big thing that I don't know if we like really formally announced it or anything like that. But, you know, we getting our shit together. Like, you know, on top of the LLC, we also filed for a trademark for our own slogan. You know what I'm saying? So in that way, we really just protect our IP all together, man. So like, I'm excited for what Beatbuild has in store, and you know, and what we, you know, as individuals have in store for ourselves. I mean, we got a whole doctor up in here, you know, and we got, you know, some artists out here fighting for their masters. Mark went and got his, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Literally, boy. Literally.
So, you know, I love to see, you know, everybody elevating, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, we're all doing our own things respectively, and then we come together like the Avengers for Beatbuild, you know? On top of just getting our LLC, getting the trademark, we got a whole new logo, you know, like the Beatbuild logo is super fire. Shout out to Jasmine for hooking that up. You know? I don't know about you guys, but having a new logo just really just breathed new life into my whole creative, inspiration when it comes to attacking this thing.
For sure. I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was saying that, your taste level sometimes doesn't match up with the work, the skill. So it's always that battle as an entrepreneur, as a creative, like you're just trying to meet that. So I feel like us getting a new logo, that just stamped everything that we had going on. Like that just validated, solidified it, because we already been doing dope shit, but it was just, the skill level doesn't match. So I feel like with the logo now, everything matches up now. Like everything that we've done now the look matches that. Like, you know what I mean? It's more luxe, it's more upper echelon. Like we feel comfortable having more conversations about partnering with other people. Our logo looks good online, anywhere, no matter what. Website, Instagram, Facebook, all that. So like,
talk that shit, man.
Yeah, bro.
And I know that's something that we had a conversation, aside from this, is just like, how good that logo could look, next to another brand, being on like a red carpet type of backdrop, or like some type of corporate designs, like shout out to Jasmine, because she hooked it up to where it's something that looks very familiar, vintage, like it gives you that strong, something that you feel like you've seen it before, but it's also futuristic at the same time.
Right.
I just love the logo so much. So
yeah. Right. And I mean, you know what you're getting when you look at the logo too. Like you look at the logo, you already know, these guys mean business. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Right. Yeah, I feel like a logo is exciting too, because it's like it kind of encapsulates what you want the rest of your brand to kind of be about. Exactly. So like, you know what I mean? Nike can spend a whole bunch of time designing the shoes and shooting the commercials and doing whatever, but it's like the check is kind of like the packaging of everything. And it's for this upcoming season, it's exciting to be able to not only present the guts and the engine of the show, but also present it in a package that is fitting kind of going forward, that matches
I know we could be proud
all of that work.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Again, I'm super proud of it. So much so that, I mean, we talking about printing up merch, man. We got to get on that pronto, because it's like, I already know I need a Beatbuild.wav trucker. I need Beatbuild.wav sweatshirts, t-shirts,
hoodies.
And I'm getting fits off. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
If you think I'm getting fits off other people's logos, bro, oh man, you ain't gonna be able to see me. I'm gonna be buried in my Beatbuild.wav trucker.
What? Extra cozy.
Right.
Extra cozy.
What were some of you guys' like all time, like if you can think, off the top of your head? We may have some overlap, but what were some of your favorite moments from like season 1?
I really like the first episode.
You talking about the very first one, like when
the very first episode? I'll tell you why. Personally, for me, I like
ROL, like before Running Out of Lines.
Yes, no. I'll tell you why I liked it. I'm not saying it's our best episode, because it was not our. I think we got better, especially after Running Out of Lines came on. We got better, but just for me personally, the reason why I just have fond memories of that first episode was just the excitement of like the unknown. Like as we got on, we kind of started understanding what it was and building, just getting better and better and better. But that first one, just the fact that it was like so fresh, like just making the beat and everything, I felt like the excitement of doing something like that for the very first time was definitely memorable and special to me.
And I really hate that we don't have any recordings, because like you said, that first episode was so special, even from a hosting aspect, because, that was back when we were still hosting on my personal Instagram. So like you said, it was completely unknown, and like the missteps was really what made it even more fire. The complications with the Wi-Fi, running out to the car, because you couldn't get into the live, stuff like that. And just that whole the feeling of just like that feeling of being alive in the moment,
right? Exactly. Like just seeing just the feeling of trying to bring something new to like the marketplace or whatever, it was really cool to me, and it was definitely a feeling that stuck with me looking back.
If we're still talking about like that moment, those moments, like I think some of my favorite moments from season 1 comes from the chat, you know, like, and how the chat takes on its own life, you know, like if we can say one episode where I think the chat was just really just on 10 was the episode where we had Spradley versus John Lyon.
Yes.
That episode, the chat was hilarious, man. It was hard for me to even keep my composure because you know, one second you got people frying up, you know, the people that on, you know, our guests, they're frying up.
I was frying up everybody.
And you know, the jokes and all that stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, that stuff, you know, really, I love to see the chat on 10 because that just, you know, further elevates me because, you know, we can't be in person with everybody. We can't get that live experience, but, you know, seeing people type in, I mean, it just elevates me, you know, to go like Super Saiyan and like, you know, I'm a better host in the moment.
I think the audience also just brings the best out of everybody. Like the host, the artist. You know, it's supposed to be a producer competition. So when you got the audience chiming in and they picking sides, you know, that brings the best.
It's the closest thing you can get to the exchange of energy that you miss in person.
It brings about the camaraderie that you need.
Like
exactly. I think that's one of the highlights. I remember we did one and I was like, I feel like I think I sold my DJ equipment or something like that. And you were just like, you know what, we just gonna dance. We just gonna wild out. Like that's one of the last few episodes. And I had like put the top hat on and we were just dancing. Like that shit was so funny because it's like that was me. Like that, if we had to step outside of Beatbuild.wav and you put me and Javier and like the crew in the room, like that's probably what I would be on. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, having a good time, being in the moment. That was definitely a highlight for me. And then I would definitely say when the Hawaii people, you know, came up, when that whole Hawaii game came through. After Hakeem, that just brought a new flame. Like I felt like everybody wanted to tap in after that. Because
Hawaii run, man. Shout out to everybody out there in Hawaii. Like if I missed any names, man, please forgive me. But from Spradley, John Lyon, Hakeem, we had No Shade. I don't know if there's anybody else that we're missing, but you know, those were some really like dope artists that we were able to connect with. And like you said, like they just came with so much, like it was like a whole crew. And then there was crews who came after that. I think Bellwether may have came from them, and 3 Jewels came from Bellwether. And there's a lot of, you know, friendships that we've made through Beatbuild.wav, and like, you know, whether they are online or in person. And, you know, I know you've had the pleasure of meeting, like, I think you have the most encounters with artists in person, because, you know, you met CDs in person. And I know Trustin probably has the most interactions. Me and him probably have the most interactions online, you know, with different artists. That,
for sure.
You know, Hakeem has been a big supporter of some of my personal things that we got going on. So, you know, with that being said too, you know, Trustin, what did you have like any personal favorite moments from season 1?
My personal favorite moment, not to be redundant, but the John Lyon Spradley episode with No Shade was good, but not just because of the chat and everything else around it, but just I feel like the elevation of the quality of music that was brought to the table. That episode, I kind of set it on a trajectory where like we can't go backwards from there. We got to just keep going up. So after them, it was like Bellwether, 3 Jewels. We had like Ladrano and Samara. Like those, there were certain moments where like the quality was kind of just at a level that we want to be at all times. And I feel like that first Hawaii episode was what set it off for me. And I also love the rivalry between me and Demont as well. Just, you know, keep going back and forth. I like that as well, not to be selfish, you know.
and you know,
that's what started it out.
And kudos to you for actually like ending the season off with a dub too. Like, you know, you actually finally
had to do it for the dreadhead niggas, you know what I'm saying? We was catching L's the whole time.
When I think back on the season or whatever, my favorite moments are, I feel like the moments that you kind of realize that the show elevated. And so it's like we started the show, like I said, my first favorite moment was the beginning. I would say my next one would probably be when Running Out of Lines came on the show, because I feel like that looking at the experience, it was like, okay, it became a little bit more clear how we could really run a legitimate show. It's like it legitimized it again. It's like that was the next level up from the beginning. And then we leveled up again when Spradley and them, it's like we leveled up show-wise, then we leveled up music-wise. And then obviously, like Javier, you was just getting better, you know, every episode as you just, you know, with the experience, you were just getting better throughout the season. Yeah, so, yeah, I feel like the marks that really signified like the progression of the show, those are all pretty much my favorites. Yeah. But the episode you came on, Tato, I was like, oh yeah, this is legit now. Like I feel comfortable showing this to people. Like this is us. You know?
Right. Definitely. No, I appreciate it. I always tell Javier that like before Beatbuild.wav, I wasn't consistently, you know, DJing. So like this was a test for me every week to come with a new set of songs and try to bring them together and then bring everybody together so we can have a good time and wild out. So like that was like a big accomplishment. But yeah, right. I'm sorry, I keep going back to the whole, you know, Hawaii game, pulling up and showing out. But like, I ain't gonna lie, like if season 2 don't come with that same energy, you might as well just pack it up, man. You might as well, right. I'll say it here right now. If they don't come with that energy, because again, like between all of those people from Hawaii, like they have the confidence. That was the difference between them and everybody else. It didn't matter if it was trash. They just felt it. They wanted to win. Other people before them was like, oh, I hope I win. Good job, everybody being nice. No, talk your shit. Like, let's get it. Like, this is a battle. This is a competition.
And that mental image, like when you talk about that confidence, the mental image of Spradley, like that smirk on his face when he first played his beat, and he knew like, oh, that switch up came in or whatever. And he just knew like, oh, everybody's rocking.
He just knew.
That lives rent free in my mind, like forever, bro. Like that's one of my favorite moments. And then when John Lyon came in, and we thought that it couldn't get better than Spradley, John Lyon came in and just like, you know, destroyed the place.
He should have been mean. Both of them should have been mean, bro. That's how epic that was. And I'm like, all right, this season, like, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I just felt like, yo, like when we bring these vocals in, the original songs be hard. If you're gonna make a beat, let that shit be fire. Like blow us away. Pause. Like I don't want no mediocre shit. And sometimes I'll be going to Javier when he come to me for my vote, and I'm like, I don't know which one I like. And it was just because like I didn't feel the fire from anyone. Like, so I feel like this season we got better artists. Like I can't wait to see what, you know, the episode with Sevi and Holly Fair, my boy Jason. Like these dudes been rapping for a minute. I know all my life, and I know off air they be talking me shit. So I'm kind of like, you know, anxious to see, you know, or excited, should I say, just to see what they come with. You know what I mean? Yeah. Also the producers. Like I want to see the producers really step this shit up, man.
For sure. Before we leave this completely, you know, I know for me, if we're talking about vocal wise, Celeste, you know, I think that might have been like episode 2. That song that Demont made for him, like that was just the perfect mashup. And that was a moment for me where it's like, this is what Beatbuild is all about. Cause that song I still listen to, you know, consistently. And you can, you know, if you watch my YouTube channel, then you know like how much that song, how much I love that song, you know. And then on top of that, like another favorite performance of mine is just Samara, because I remember when I put up that post, you know, just reflecting on all the women that we've had on Beatbuild.wav, her vocals still like with no music behind it, man, they just hit so different to me. Like her vocals are on another level to me. So like with my, you know, those are some of my favorite performances. What were some of you guys' like favorite, either from a producer or from an artist?
No Shade. That was a really good performance for me. I always loved Chad's vocals. I know that was my thing, but Chad, whenever he sends anything, I'm like sold immediately.
Yeah, Chad's cold, man.
Yeah, so I always, you know, that was off rip gonna be my favorite, whether I was on it or not.
Okay, so some people who surprised you, like I know, like
that's what I'm about to say. Some people,
Bellwether.
Yeah, I was gonna say
his was tough.
Yeah, his was hard.
Like, both of those dudes, like they really surprised me. Like but I think as far as like artists who really surprised me, it was a female rapper, and she was
Arrogant 2 times.
Arrogant 2 times.
Yeah.
Bro, she got some shit, bro. I went back and listened to some of her stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah. See,
she going in.
Now, and another person who surprised me was CDs, because CDs as a producer, killed it as a producer, and I didn't even know who he was. And then I went and did, you know, went and learned more about him, and his rapping, his albums are hard. And I'm like, bro, like we didn't know this before.
I take it back. CDs might be my favorite because I think of like from the whole season, I think I listened to his personal work probably more than more than anybody else. He probably would get my vote.
I feel crazy. I ain't even mention CDs because
yeah.
He's sending me shit like so much. I have a whole file just for him right now. Just shit that like, he's slowly starting to roll out and stuff like that. But like again, he came on as a producer. I didn't even know he was an artist, and then to meet him outside of Beatbuild.wav to see that he cool and shit. And one thing I'll say about him is that he has such an extensive catalog to where I can be a fan. Like I can say, yo, I'm a fan because like there's different albums that you can listen to and you can be like, all right, I like this one, I don't like this one. You can rank these shit at this point. That's how much work he got. And he's still sending out shit. Like, yo, listen to that. So like I respect just his heart, his work ethic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like you said, it's dope that, you know, as a still emerging artist, he has such a plethora of music because, you know, that's the thing, like with our line of work, you know, looking for artists that are still on the ground level, you know, a lot of them, you know, they either don't have, even though they're super talented, they don't have a back catalog, hardly putting out any music on any streaming platforms, but they're super talented. Like I know Chad wasn't putting out music when we first got him. Celeste still hasn't dropped any official music, but you know, they were kind enough to share their talents with us. It's such a breath of fresh air when you get someone like CDs where it's like, okay, I can actually genuinely be a fan of you because you have the back catalog.
You have all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, let's just be straight on, like, what were some things that you just were like, you know, I did not rock with this in season one, like, you know, you just didn't.
Who was bro, right off the top of my head, who was bro that said he didn't have enough time to finish the song or something like that?
There was a couple people, but I think
the one that just didn't show up. He just didn't show up at all.
Two of my episodes, niggas didn't show up, and I was out there by myself, boxing by myself.
Dang.
Two of my episodes, bro.
Yeah, there were two artists that didn't show up. It was Vinny B, and I'm still disappointed because he's a cool producer. You know, Vinny B was one of them, and then the other one was Custom Beats, CSTM.
Yes, that's who it was.
CSTM. That's who it was. And I'm on his neck too because he's a dope producer too. But
I'm laughing right now because I'm thinking about the dude that took the girl's vocals
and he pitched them up. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Who was that?
I know you talk about like Nicholas Xavier, which is like, you know, that was a big misstep on his part. You know, I could see.
I saw what he's trying to do though. I saw vision. I did see the vision on that.
Not for this.
It wasn't.
It was like a SoundCloud type remix. It was, you know, it wasn't a competition type of song. It was more like just a vibe. You know,
it was a misstep. Yeah, niggas made mistakes.
I think that shit was the funniest. After that, everybody was canceling.
No. I won't necessarily call this a mistake because it was hilarious and it actually could fall into one of my most memorable moments.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It was when Omar was frying up. Who was he frying up?
You talking about Cab?
Yes.
Oh no, yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, okay.
When Omar, it wasn't just Omar. It was
when he came on the live. It wasn't the comments. He was actually talking.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, niggas is spicy on here. Like that's when I realized, like, damn, this could go hostile if you really don't, you know what I mean, come with it.
Yeah, man. So, you know, like, yeah, like I think Nicholas Xavier, like, he definitely like, and I think he pushed it off to the last minute, and I think that's something that, you know, we just gotta like be straight up with artists, like moving forward. Is like, you know, this is potentially like, you know, this is gonna become a big platform. I'll just say that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you have to take pride in the fact that you're coming in on the ground level of something like, you know, like a Jeff Bezos or, you know, like early Amazon type deal, you know what I'm saying? It's not if for me, it's when, you know? So like
taking the first step.
In the fact that like you're on the early, you know, ground level of something that's, you know, gonna change the game. And, you know, if you fumble, you know, that opportunity, then that's on you. You know what I mean? Like, you can't wait. You know that you have 24 hours. We hit you up ahead of time. This is the block of time that you have to set out for this. And we've made accommodations for artists in the past, whether it's like, even if it's still 24 hours, but it's a different 24 hours, we'll make those accommodations for you. But don't push it off to like the last 3 hours and talk about, here's a little metronome I put together. Like, nah, bro.
Hey, don't get it twisted. John Ryan said he made his song in 3 hours, and that shit was fire. So you can make some heat in 3 hours.
Here's the thing:
you gotta be built for it.
You gotta know who you are, though. You gotta know who you are. If you know you really can do it in 3 hours, all right, fine. But you really know if you can. If you don't really got it like that, you know what I mean? Then you need to stay a little bit longer, like.
And that shows how John Lyon.
Everybody can't shoot threes like Steph.
I think it might have been.
Stay in your range.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was John Lyon or Spradley, but one of them, you just know that they goated because I think one of them or both of them were talking about, oh yeah, I was hungover, I was partying last night, but I just cranked this out real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like, if you know that you're goated like that, then okay. But if you don't have the stamina, if you know you built different in a bad way, then don't do it to yourself.
Don't do it, man. Don't
different.
I don't want to show talking about, yeah, bro, I was missing the drums. I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's season 2, man. Like, especially we have the back catalog too of episodes. Like, you can go back, do the history, do the science of the artists who have won, the artists who didn't win, and like, the quality of music that we put out. So what's to be expected. Like, there's no excuse now. Like, there was an excuse before when it was still brand new, but now go to SoundCloud, like, do the history.
Yeah, bro.
Sure.
You might need to bring somebody like Simon on there. Just tell niggas like, yeah, hey, listen. Hey, that shit sucks, man. Pack it up.
That's Omar.
Your job is done.
Yeah, man. And that's what I really, depend on the chat for, because, especially like, when we're front facing, live, I have to be the good guy. I'm the host, you know what I'm saying? I have to be that level-headed, nice personality to everybody. And then that's also why we made this podcast, to come backstage and, this could be therapy for us, where it's like, we can share our true feelings and, and we can break that fourth wall a little bit. And I don't have to be in the host character. But when we're in the moment, I know I depend on the chat to just say what I'm thinking or, to say and be that mouth for me when I can't say those things.
I know for me personally, even if I'm not necessarily thinking about the platform or if I'm not doing the science or whatever, for me, I just wouldn't want to save my own reputation. You know what I mean? I just don't want to come and show, like put something out to people that would show my work in a lesser light than what I think of it to be. So
a lot of times, this is like a lot of people's first introduction to like a big audience in a sense, like we haven't built it up to where it's like hundreds of people, but this can be your introduction to, a whole new audience. Like, so really don't fumble it, man.
Right.
Getting off of the artist, like giving them, some time to breathe. I know I've had my own share of personal missteps on the live where it's like, from internet connections, like having whole broadcasts being in robot mode, Teddy Riley mode. And, I was mad at the chat for not saying, nobody wanted to say anything to me, just let me rock. And, there's whole times where I've been blurry or, playing around with trying to, play around with sound effects or, with the mic and stuff. And I remember there's one episode of Millie CTG where I'm just, going hard with the echo mic. And I think somebody's just like, yo, cut that shit off. Like, turned off the mic and like, all right, my fault. Like,
never forget the episode when Dan came on and I couldn't get my sound right for nothing. Like you were saying, it was like muffled, it was low. And the camera fell and it fell on my toes.
Damn, not the toes. That boy had the toes out open. Open toes.
And toes.
No, but I had a whole fit on the top half.
Whole fit up top with the raw toes on the bottom. Raw toes.
He over here showing toes in the chat.
Javier said it too, like, yo, your toes is in the camera, bro.
Damn.
They was frying me, bro. They was frying me.
Yeah, man. So like, me and Running Out of Lines, we're always on live, always in front of the crowd. So, we have more chances to really mess up in front of the camera. But like, behind the scenes, or even, when you guys have appeared on camera, do you feel like there were any personal missteps on your end?
Yeah, I think for me, the Celeste episode was a misstep production-wise, like probably my biggest misstep. Just, I don't know what I was thinking. And when I heard Demont, I'm like, oh, he got that shit. I already know. So, but other than that, I mean, y'all don't really speak that much, so it's nothing really for me to, like, fumble over. But
yeah, I feel like all my missteps kind of have been more so on the creative side than the, in-person side. I know my last episode with Kobe, I think that was not even, I think that definitely was a misstep. I disregarded my own like game plan that I was using for every other episode. And that was just like really trying to play to artists' strengths and kind of accentuate. And I feel like I tried to do a little bit too much on that one, and I kind of took away from that. So I know that was definitely one of my biggest regrets. And then another one of my biggest regrets from just the organization side was, I think, our episode with Denzel. From an organization standpoint, I think I wish we would have pushed to play to his strengths as a producer, because you have to, in order to make the best show possible, you have to play to everybody's strengths, the artists and the producers. And I feel like that's kind of what that episode taught me, was that you can have a dope producer, but you don't get the most out of them if you don't give them everything that they need to succeed. So I know that was definitely another regret of mine from last season.
And shout out to the producers too, because, a lot of them, they don't know what they're getting into. And I know early on we were like real hush hush about not even letting them know who the artist was, or even, what type of vocal they were getting until 24 hours started. But, we kind of loosened up a little bit and saying, oh, you may not know what you're going to get, who you're going to get, or, hear the vocals, but we'll let you know, oh, it's an R&B, or, it's a female, or it's this and it's that. Do you feel comfortable for that very reason? Because, Dario is like a super dope producer, and someone I'm a huge fan of. But like you said, we kind of like, he was kind of a fish out of water. Not to say he didn't produce something dope. But
right.
He was like, it wasn't what you would think of when you think of a Dario.
Yeah. I said I just don't feel like it played to his strengths. Not saying that, like you said, it wasn't good. His production, I still think, was fire. But I feel like
against someone else, I'm sure he would have destroyed them.
Right.
Still fire.
Just stylistically, I mean, you can have a dope producer. It's like, you're not gonna have Quincy Jones produce the trap beat. You're not gonna have Metro Boomin produce. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not necessarily about the quality of the producer, but also the stylistically how they match up with people. And I feel like that was definitely something that I took away from that to improve on this next season.
I'm hoping with all the matchups, with the schedule and stuff like that, I know you guys organize that. I hope that like everything works out as planned and come through with some quality shit.
Yeah, I mean, me and Trustin been working together to kind of remedy that this time. Like, we're like, this time, like I said, I don't want to make that mistake again. Or just people, not saying, things might not go left, or you never know how, people just might not like a certain song, but I want to do our best to make sure we work to put people in the position to where they, just got to do them from there. If you don't do you,
shout out to Trustin too, because I mean, he's definitely been, we haven't given him a shine yet, but like, he's been an unsung hero for season 2. Building our new form for artists to sing, their vocals, and really just organizing everything from us. Being able to see the categories that producers and artists fall under, and because season 1, a lot of times we were scrambling to find producers and artists day of, the announcement. So, really thank you, Trustin, for even building that for us.
Yeah, for sure. No problem.
No doubt.
That's like an extension of the logo, kind of. It's like just more official. Just kind of stamp it. Yeah.
Definitely more official. So, with that being said, we already have a plethora of artists, man, that are going to be on season 2. Who are you guys most excited to see in season 2? Sevy, yeah, hands down, man.
Hands down to me.
I'm excited to see
he's always been able to he's always been able to outshine all the talent from back home. Like, aside from the Migos, obviously, he grew up under them. That's that's their son. But you know what I'm saying? Sevy, bro, he's nice and he's been doing this for a minute. He just never, really got the spotlight. So I think this would be a perfect opportunity for him to kind of step onto a platform and get some shine for once. You know what I mean?
Sure, for sure, man. And I know I've heard the vocals, heard the original song, man. Whoever gets the Sevy vocals, they're gonna have a tough time with that because the original song is hard and his vocals, I mean, he's shining on those. And that's my type of music. So
I'm excited to see Playboy Dez. He's a kid I actually used to go to church with back in 2006 and 2007. He was like a little boy back then. And randomly we connected on Instagram a few years ago, and apparently he can rap, and he's actually pretty nice. So I definitely DM'd him, sent him the form multiple times. I was on his head for 2 months, yo, submit the vocals. And he was finally he submitted something, and it was fire. So I'm excited for him to finally get on the show. Also excited to hear Kevin and Alexander's little brother, Shane. He goes to Berkeley School of Music, so he's dope. He's also been on Kenny Beats live beat battle sessions on Twitch and stuff like that. He's been shouted out by Kenny Beats and all that. So he's pretty dope. And then also another producer by the name of Dio Speaks. He produced on Nipsey's last album. So he did Hustle and Motivate. So he's a Grammy-winning producer. He's gonna be on the show. So he confirms. I'm excited about those three.
Confirmed, Grammy nominated.
Yeah, all that.
Did you hear that, guys?
Yes, sir. We leveling up. It's just a matter of time. We told you.
Come on.
It's only a matter of time.
Come on, man. Let's get it, man.
Shout out for working on that one for us too, man.
I'm looking forward to actually seeing CDs come back this time as an artist. Because like I said before, I feel like I was really he was probably my favorite artist just from a fan perspective that I could go back and listen to afterwards after the show last time. So I'm definitely, looking forward to seeing what gets cooked up in that respect. I feel like just from some of the snippets I've heard, Ted already mentioned Sevy. I feel like I'm looking forward to listening to Noxious as well.
Yeah.
He kind of like a young up and coming out of Atlanta, young up and coming rapper or whatever. And his stuff I've listened to as well on Apple Music and stuff. And his stuff is hard as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes up, what comes out of that. And, I just know, period, there's going to be so much dope music. Like Trustin was saying, Doe Speaks, Grammy nominated, having D-Clax back on, also highly touted, plays for the 85 South show and stuff like that. I'm just looking forward to seeing what great musical minds, could just come up with.
Yeah, and Bellwether too. I mean, shout out to him. He has an unreleased song with Uzi. That's crazy.
There you go.
That's crazy. So, so who are some people from season 1, that we haven't already mentioned in this little segment? Are you excited to see come back in season 2? Any mashups that you want to see, or stuff like that? I would love to see, someone like 3 Jewels and Bellwether go up against each other, and not just because they're the white producers, but the fact that Bellwether brought 3 Jewels to us. I would love to see if the student can outshine the master, that type of dynamic. And both of them are hard when it comes to bass, and they're kind of in the same class. And I want to see who comes out on top.
For sure. Yeah. I'm excited just because it was Bellwether's idea. He was put me up against 3 Jewels. So it's smoke. It's up. Right. You know what I mean?
I have no doubt they're gonna come with some heat. They're both nice in their own regard. So yeah, I'll be excited to see what they come up with.
I'm sure 3 Jewels, I can't remember if we had him on twice or not. I think we did. And he's someone who's who shines every time he comes on. And it's Three Jewels, Bellwether, they never disappoint. And
Yeah.
I'm just always excited to see anything.
Yeah, I feel like those guys are real students to
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, you can tell who really studies, you know, the game and studies producing, and they both do that for sure.
Guys know their sounds, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I'm excited.
I know.
I'm also excited to see Monty Made Music come back as an artist as well, not just a producer, but she came on like 3 times as a producer last season, so she did her thing every time. So I'm excited to see what she does this season as well.
Yeah, and Monty Made, I mean, she's been holding it down for all the female producers out there, man. We got to get more female producers.
Yeah.
They're on the same level as Mark, we lost you. There you go.
Phone call came through. My bad.
Oh, you good?
They might try to call back. I'm gonna just keep hitting cancel.
All right, so we'll get flashes of your old life when you didn't have dreads.
I know Tato laughing at me.
So Monty May, you know, she's definitely been holding it down for the female producers, and I would just love to get more female producers involved because they're like unicorns, and they're really elusive to say the least. You know, it's like I know I've been reaching out to some female producers, and it's like legendary Pokemon. You got to try to hope that you say the right things at the right time, and you get them, because it's hard to hold on to.
I feel like Monty Made is the token producer right now, like because she's a token female producer. Like we got to get more females on there, and we ain't just throwing pity parties because y'all females. No, y'all got to bring that shit, just like the men expect you to bring that shit. Straight up.
Monty Made me like the Jackie Robinson of Beatbuild.wav.
Dang.
Like no cap, bro, no cap. Like
you know who else I'm excited to hear? Who had probably one of the sleeper best songs of last season was Aaron K. I think the song he had, I don't know if this goes under this segment, but that song was probably one of my favorite songs from the past season. And I know he said he wanted to come on again, so I'm definitely excited to see what he got coming up next.
And that was a big accomplishment for us as a platform. The fact that St. Val decided to take both of the remixes from Monty Made Music and from Aaron K and release them as official releases, like that just meant the world to me, because I was like, bro, like that's the highest praise that we could have. Like we facilitated these remixes or these connections.
Right.
Actually, what I like too, adding to that, it just reminded me. I definitely like the idea of the Beatbuild.wav playlist, like with all the artist songs together in one place. Like that shit was a vibe. I was able to play that on shuffle. You know what I'm saying? While I'm getting things done in the crib and really tap in, it was a vibe.
Yeah, and that's something that we're gonna bring back. I mean, there's some artists that we haven't forgotten about. Like I know Tarzan hit me up. He was another dope artist from Hawaii. He came on later on, so that's why I didn't remember him off top. But I know he's a super talented artist. I would love to see him come back on. I brought him up because he asked about Volume 2, and that's a misstep on both my part, Trustin's part. We're still working on getting Volume 2 out and just the right timing of when we want to release it. So, now that Season 2 is coming up, hey, we might just release it any day now,
Right.
By the time you guys listen to this interview, this Volume 2 might be out, because I know those are always a vibe. So thank you again, Trustin, for building those playlists for us too.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. I really enjoy building the playlists. It's fun to get dive into the artist's, discography and find the songs that I feel like are the ones that kind of mesh together. So it's always fun to make a playlist.
We have a lot of amazing things hooked up for you guys. Like there's a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and love that's going in. I mean, this podcast right here is just another step forward of connecting with our audience. This platform is nothing without our audience. Like as hard as we may want to, as hard as we may work, we can only get but so far with our audience, because you guys are the ones who choose to invest your time and your, hard-earned time too, with us.
With that guy.
This guy, man. You keep doing this shit, bro.
Off camera, man. We had some missteps with the recording, but you had a very good point, Tato. Like you were talking about making classic shit like for Beatbuild.wav. What were you saying?
Yeah. Basically what I was saying before this nigga Javier dropped the blunt on my white Air Force Ones, bro. Got my he's fresh out the box, man. Goddamn. Anyway, Yeah, I was basically saying that I think because of the 24-hour thing, it's causing a lot of producers to overproduce. And then as a result, they're not creating classic, timeless music. It's good music, it's great music, but I think it was great for the show. Like, it definitely didn't make it to anybody's playlist. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that for every song, because there were a lot of great ones.
Let me play, before, because I know y'all have y'all own points that y'all want to bring up, but like, let me just play like, the opposite point of that debate.
Yeah, for sure.
If I were gonna say, I know that there's 3 songs that I can go back to that I know are bangers.
Okay.
Stand the test of time for me personally. Is gonna be Celeste Demont or Celeste Demo, that episode. Chad Demont, that was a fire song. And then the third one is gonna be Samara Madrano.
That was heat.
Samara Madrano was heat. That was
straight fast. Like, that needs to be in the next trailer of, like, that needs to be playing in Mexican clubs from now till.
Be in Ibiza, nigga, going crazy. Yeah, I know. I definitely like that one. I told you that afterwards. You was like, for real, like, bro, that shit right there is a hit.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I think that the one part that, like, maybe just if you're listening, you don't really get to appreciate, that we kind of are restrained by with the 24 hours, is just the engineering part, and, like, just having music mixed and mastered, which nobody, like, when I do it in 24 hours, I try to do my own little mix or whatever, but it's not, an official mix and master. Right. So I feel like having it properly.
I'm sorry.
You said what?
How long would you say that it takes to properly mix and master a song?
It depends on how good an engineer you are.
Yeah, I'm not an engineer, so I would have to send mine to somebody else to do it, have them do it for me. And depending on how many tracks it is or how many songs I'm sending, it's definitely gonna take more than 24 hours.
And I think, who was it? AU Music.
Yeah.
Came up on a great episode with great producers, because both CDs and Bellwether picked up, like, I think both of their songs, and I think I told him this straight up, they were better than the original version that he had.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember both of them was hard. Yeah,
that was better than the original. So that's crazy. And the original's not terrible either.
No.
Yeah. I do remember.
So
I'm definitely like, again, I definitely think there was some great moments for sure. I just haven't found one yet. Not saying that I won't ever, because y'all brought up some good ones. Like, I forgot about the one with Sarah and McConnell. Like, that shit was hard. Like, that's probably one of my favorite songs out of the entire season. But that's now I'm even more excited to go back. And y'all didn't talk y'all shit, so now I'm gonna go back. To all them goods that y'all said was hard, because I need new music to listen to.
Dang, Tato about to give me amp. Now half of the battle just finna be like, I gotta make a classic for this nigga to play for the rest of the time.
That's what I was thinking right now too.
About battling. I ain't even trying to battle no more. I'm just like, let me make this onto this nigga's playlist.
Bro, because honestly, I think we all do the same thing, especially y'all. But, like, we listen to music every day, all day. And, like, sometimes you find yourself listening to some of the same shit over and over and over again. Those are the songs that I want to have in just one place, one big ass playlist. It's just.
But also too, I think what also plays into that is that we're not releasing this stuff on the Apple Music, and maybe that's something we can work on for future.
That's true.
It's hard for something to really work into your rotation, because there's artists like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, I'm a big fan of Key, but his music sometimes has to grow on you, and part of it growing on you is being readily accessible.
Exactly.
Open up your favorite streaming platform, and our stuff, even though you can stream it, it's on a whole different platform. It's on SoundCloud.
And I listen, like, I have Choice Radio I host it on SoundCloud, but I'm not on there unless I'm, like, looking for new music to put on Choice, or looking for music to DJ for Beatbuild.wav. Like, I'm not really on there like that compared to Spotify and Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? Even YouTube. Like, I'm on YouTube all the time. So yeah, I think if that was to be on Apple Music, bro, I'd run that shit up. I'd actually run it back. Like the playlist, I run that playlist back. Like back to back to back, and I was able to find ones that I really love.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that right there, that's a great point. That may be part of it. So I may go back and listen to it and be like, yo, all right, I got a classic.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to, really, with more efforts of us getting our business straight, that's the next frontier, is like really getting our stuff, business right with artists to where we feel comfortable putting their music up on Apple Music, and making sure everybody is properly compensated and represented in the art.
For sure. No, definitely.
I agree.
I think that was my pitch. That was my pitch to a lot of artists too. Like, we're gonna be doing all the like marketing stuff for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your work is gonna be promoted by us.
Yeah.
Free of charge.
I mean, we really like a defunct, or not defunct, that's not the right word, but like, a little impromptu marketing agency or whatever, because, that's what we do half the time, is marketing artists and, putting them out there, getting their music out there.
Exactly. And I mean, that takes more time out of them creating if they have to wear that hat and try to, promote and market their own stuff. So like the fact that we're doing it for them, it's like a win-win. Like, if you turn this opportunity down, you're a jerk.
You played yourself. You played yourself. And to be honest with you, I mean, we got a lot of talented artists who tap in, but we also get a lot of, dope people who are still on the fence, still a lot of dope people who haven't seen, because we're still in the early stages. So I don't really fault a lot of artists sometimes for not seeing the vision. But, my best advice is just get in while the getting's good, because, as we grow, the selection process is going to get harder and harder with more submissions that we get. I mean, there's not even a guarantee that all the people who submitted our form are even going to see the light of day in season 2.
But I do want to see more collaborations between the artists and that come on the show outside of Beatbuild.wav. Because, I mean, for the most part, we're playing matchmaker, right? Like, we putting people together, but like, I want to see artists and producers go about it themselves and be like, you know what, I want to work with that producer because he knows my sound. Like, you know what I mean? That's the sound I'm going for, and vice versa. You know what I mean?
And and I hope that producers, when they're on the show, are taking advantage of that, because I know Trustin is someone who's definitely been, on top of that and, doing his business with
that's the only things I can think of.
Oh, yeah, he's the only one that I know of for sure.
Thank you again for pulling up. I can't explain to you how much that really means to me. For your first time coming backstage with us, you did a pretty good job. You embarrassed me too much. I did see you squirming around in your chair a little bit. Looked like you wanted to hop into the conversation. So go ahead and drop a comment on our YouTube channel or on our SoundCloud page, or even on our social media on our Instagram page, Beatbuild.wav, and let us know what were some of your favorite moments of season 1, what were some of your least favorite moments, and what are you most excited about coming into season 2. All right, we're gonna check in with you guys periodically, giving you guys some behind the scenes access to some of the episodes, and hopefully we'll be able to get some artists back here too. But when we're in front of company, you definitely gotta stay cool like you did today. All right, don't embarrass me in front of no guests. All right, I'm gonna check in with you next time.